Welcome back to another Professional Picks college basketball video. We have a couple of good games to preview and also guess the lines for tomorrow, December 9th, as well as Saturday. So we're not going to waste any time on the intro. We're going to jump right into it. As always, we have our partnership with Prize Picks. You can see there on the left, they'll match your first deposit of up to $100 using our promo code PROPICKS. It's a great app for placing entries on player props as well as college player props specifically, because they let you make entries on things like a player's fantasy score, for example, which is something you can't find on DraftKings or FanDuel. And the flex play is a built-in promo. You get one of your legs wrong, you still make some of your money back. And the power play is your traditional parlay. So you guys should definitely take advantage of this. It's $100 free to play around with. And it's also available in betting illegal states such as Texas, California, and Florida. Once again, the promo code is PROPICKS to get your $100 deposit match. First game we're looking at is tomorrow, and this is going to be between Texas and Seton Hall at Seton Hall. I have Seton Hall as -1 here. This probably might be more around even, or could even potentially see Texas being as a 1 or 2 point favorite. Tougher line for me to judge because Texas hasn't really played anybody good besides Gonzaga, and they weren't even close to winning that game. On the other hand, Seton Hall has beaten Michigan at Michigan and then also played Ohio State pretty well on the road. So I'm impressed with what I've seen of Seton Hall so far. And Texas, on the other hand, they only have one loss, but just not a lot of game to really review on their end. And the main reason I'm taking Seton Hall this game is because of their size and rebounding advantage over Texas. They average almost 10 more boards per game. And Jared Rhoden also averages about 17 and a half points. He's a 6'6" wing. He's a guy you could rely on down the stretch. I just think between him, Kadari Richmond, and just their posts, they have a great size advantage over pretty much every matchup on Texas. Texas was still preseason top 5, so they're a very good team, but I think they're going to show some rust here, just not really playing against great competition yet, and also being on the road. I think Seton Hall could be a Sweet 16 team this year. They just dominate the interior play, but they have to shoot a little bit better from the outside between Richmond and Miles Cale. They're just very deep team, but so is Texas. I give them the edge on rebounding and on interior play. In this one, the other game tomorrow night that we're going to be looking at is Iowa at Iowa State. Iowa State is still undefeated after their terrible year last year. And then Iowa, on the other hand, is coming off a home loss to Illinois. And Iowa is a very good team, in my opinion. They don't have a ton of size or great interior play, and that really showed against Illinois. They got out-rebounded by an insane margin, but I just don't think Iowa State's going to be able to take advantage of that. These are two stronger teams on the perimeter. And my key player for Iowa in this one is Jordan Bohannon. He only had 4 points against Illinois. That's how much they lost by. He scores in double digits like he's expected to. I think they win that game. And then Keegan Murray, on the other hand, is definitely their best player right now. Didn't list him because he's been solid throughout the year. They need Jordan Bohannon to have a good game to win this one. But I think having them as +4 underdogs on the road, get them any plus money against Iowa State, and I'll take them in this one. Iowa State has just won a lot of closer games, undefeated still between Brockington and Cal Sure. It's a lot of their scoring, strong on defense team. Just still not too impressed with Iowa State or sold on them. I think they're going to regress a little bit back to the mean here, and Iowa is going to even pick up the win on the road. And then the last 3 games we're going to be looking at are on Saturday, and that includes Wisconsin at Ohio State. I say this for a lot of the games because I just love Ohio State, but I don't think anybody on Wisconsin can guard EJ Liddell. He has about a 2-inch and 45-pound advantage over Johnny Davis. So it's going to have to be Tyler Wall, who I just don't think is athletic enough to really stay in front of them all game. On the other hand, Wisconsin has a great guard advantage between Johnny Davis and Brad Davison. They've been unreal leading this team so far, definitely overperforming their expectations. And Ohio State's performing about how everybody expected. Although Justice Suing and Seth Towns haven't even played a game yet, still like Ohio State's depth over Wisconsin in this one. Even with the guys that are injured, they have at least 3 guys off the bench that could get starter like minutes. And this one just really comes down to Ohio State dominating at home here. Wisconsin was 5-6 on the road last year and then 6-6 the year before. I know it's a different team, but they have a lot of the same guys. And Wisconsin's just always been a very strong home team in Madison, the Kohl Center. They dominate there, but on the road, definitely haven't had as much success. I think Ohio State wins this one pretty easily and covers up to -5, but I will not take the spread any higher than -5. The next game we're going to be looking at, and I've been back and forth on this one, is Arizona at Illinois. Arizona's been dominant so far. They played Wichita State, and then they also beat Michigan. Other than that, haven't played many great teams. Illinois, on the other hand, has had a different starting lineup for the majority of games. Curbelo status for this game is up in the air still. He probably will play, though, in my opinion, just because he's been out for a while already with that concussion. But Plummer's really come on of late, having over 20 points in each of his last 4 starts. And then obviously Kofi, the All-American. Between those two, you could expect a lot of offense. Not as much on the defensive end, but a ton of scoring. And Illinois has been good at home also. But on the other hand, Arizona has the advantage on Illinois in actually every statistical category, whether it's rebounds, assists, steals, blocks, points per game, points against per game. They're winning all those categories. Benedict Mathurin, Christian Koloko, Azulis Tubelis, they're dominant on the interior. I don't think Kofi's going to play as well as he has in the past, or just as well as you would normally expect, because Koloko is big player. He could really match up with him size-wise. He can also bring Omar Bello off the bench, who is another guy about 7 feet who could guard Kofi. So this game, I think the real key player here is Plummer, how well he plays. If he puts up over 20, again, like he has been doing, I think Illinois pulls this one out. But on the other hand, Arizona's very deep team. No official lean for this one, so just stay posted for a tweet later in the week, and that will be at Profit of Picks. And then the last game we're looking at, and what I think is the best matchup, is Houston at Alabama. 2 extremely similar teams, in my opinion. Very strong on the perimeter on both ends, even more so Alabama. But I think Alabama's due for a letdown game. They dominated Gonzaga really, and just nobody has looked that well against them, even Duke when they beat them. But I just don't think Alabama is going to be able to hit as many threes as they have been. The last 2 games, they had 13 against Gonzaga and then 16 in their win against Miami. But when a team's been able to limit them on the offensive end, for example, their only loss to Iona, they had 5 threes that game. I think Houston can play a similar defensive style, keep them in the single digits, or even allowing 10 threes in the game. Just keep this one close. I think Houston could also pull this out as a road underdog, but I'll take them at +4 here or +3. Any plus money. I just don't think this one's going to be a blowout either way. I think it's going to be super close, but I think Houston's defense really just pulls them apart from Alabama, and Houston is number 1 in the country in points allowed per game, and they're only giving up 53.4 points per game. I don't think Alabama's going to have as much luck, and I think the real key to beating Houston this year, they have a ton of players. They play a platoon style system, but they don't have any dominant posts, but neither does Alabama, so they won't be able to exploit them in that aspect of the game. It's going to be close. I think Houston even pulls it out as underdogs on the road, but I'll take +4. Recap, Texas at Seton Hall tomorrow night. We like Seton Hall in about an even matchup or line wise. And then we're taking Iowa at Iowa State. And these are all flipped actually again, but we're taking Iowa at Iowa State. And uh, probably, honestly, I would take that to around even, but I hope we could get a few points for Iowa up to +4, +3 would be great even. And then we're taking Ohio State to cover minus money at home against Wisconsin. I think Wisconsin's game against Indiana is really going to affect the spread. I think Indiana is actually going to keep this one really close and cover tonight in Wisconsin. I think Ohio State's going to be a little bit bigger favorites than you'd expect, but I think they'll cover that in the end. Illinois, Arizona, I've been back and forth on. Initially, I was on Illinois, looking at some stats, jumped up back to Arizona. And just looking at this from an outsider's view, if my head's telling me Arizona, that's probably the right play. But I'm still selling myself back on Illinois with Curbelo coming back, and then just this team playing a lot better in their last couple of games, beating Iowa on the road and then dominating Rutgers at home in the game before that. And then the best matchup on the whole slate is Houston at Alabama. I think Houston covers a +3, +4 spread, especially after Alabama just beat Gonzaga. I think they're due for a letdown, close game regardless, but I like Houston's defense to carry them in this one. Please let me know what you guys are taking in the comments. I love to hear your guys' analysis, whether you're fading or tailing these picks, or if you're betting on any other games. Just let me know. Let me know what other games you'd also like to see. We're going to have a video coming out soon on Villanova and Baylor, and then the Memphis game coming up next week as well. But other than that, let me know if you guys want to have a preview of any other matchup or what way I'm leaning. And I wish you guys good luck on these picks. And then also check out Twitter for my picks tonight. I'm taking Wagner +7.5. And then we also I like Indiana, not an official play though. Just check out the Twitter to get some of those picks. But I wish you guys all luck this week, and thank you guys for watching.